I found it. So I tweeted out last year a WrestleMania 40 card that I had made up based off of what I had at the time. And I thought it made sense, and I just made it just to make it. I wasn't making videos on this stuff yet. I was just making it because I like to discuss wrestling on Twitter. And I couldn't find it because apparently Twitter doesn't keep old tweets like they used to, probably to avoid people getting canceled, which isn't true because I see tweets from 2014 come up. Could not find it. I had to dig out my old phone that ran like shit. It took 20 minutes to turn on, open notes, screenshot, and send to me. But I found it. And I just want to talk about it because honestly, it was a lot of fun making it at the time. So to go back and look at it, especially now that we have the WrestleMania 40 card pretty much locked in, maybe a couple matches being added. So let's talk about it because, and I'm going to show proof. This was on November 30th, 2023 is when I made this list. And honestly, kind of a banger card. I'm not saying to give me the pen. I'm just saying, give me the pen. On the pre-show, I have the women's tag titles, the champions Chelsea Green and Piper Niven versus Kaden Carter and Katana Chance. It's funny because that's actually the match where they won the titles on a random episode of Raw. I figured that they are champions. They deserve to be on the show, but respectfully, this isn't my opinion, but WWE will see women and go, no. So I just wanted to give them something. The pre-show is something for them all to do something cool on. Unfortunately, I don't even think the tag champs will be on the WrestleMania 40 card, not defending their titles. Kind of a shame. Let's look at night one. The tag titles, the Judgment Day versus DIY versus Bronson. Wait, what? Let's look at night one. We have the tag champs of the Judgment Day versus DIY. As you can tell, the DIY agenda was set from the beginning, all the way back in November. I was pushing this DIY train, man. When Johnny Gargano came back, they were doing like the week-long story of like, where's Johnny? He had the like posters. He was posting them everywhere. He was walking around. Hey, have you seen Gargano anywhere? I was pushing the DIY meta. After that, we've got Ivar versus Bronson Reed versus Butch versus Dragon Lee. I had just gotten some mid-carders, I think, for that one. Dragon Lee was doing phenomenal stuff on the SmackDown mid-card. Butch was still Butch. Thank God he's Pete Dunne now, but I just want him to be there. Bronson Reed and Ivar are just two really good big guys that you can just have the other side of the coin. I can't think of the duality, I guess, of it. Next up, and I tell you this out of spite, IC Championship match, Gunther versus Ilya Dragunov. This is not a new agenda. Since 2023, Ilya and Gunther are meant to fight, and I will see it, and I won't have to watch a replay back during the pandemic. One day, oh man, this one's dated because this one's actually on the card, and I didn't talk about it when it was on the card because I forgot the match existed, and that's Rey Mysterio versus Santos Escobar. I thought they were going to do a blood feud thing, lead it up to Mania, ended at Mania. Rey got hurt. Santos isn't doing anything. LWO isn't doing anything, so they're doing a tag match. Stupid. I don't know. It should have been like, I don't know, LWO versus, I don't remember what this, La Fantasma, I think is their full squad, because, there's 3 male wrestlers and a female wrestler, and then 3 male wrestlers and a female wrestler. Why are we doing a tag match for that? It's stupid. Women's Championship, Io Sky versus Bayley. Nailed it. God, it's like I watched the weekly product or something. This one is Jay versus Jimmy. Give me the pen, dude. The problem is I have this an Uso Penitentiary cage match. I still think they should do that, but clearly they have no plans to do that, which makes sense. Just gonna be a singles match. World Heavyweight Title match: Seth freaking Rollins versus CM Punk. Sad face. We would have gotten it, to be fair, but that is unfreaking fortunate, dude. I would have had 3 out of the 6 matches right there. Unfortunate. Let's see. Night two. Okay. I need y'all to listen to me real clear when I say this. I have Solo Sikoa versus Redacted Lesnar. Now listen, let me cook for a second. Because we all know, or at least we all assume, Roman is losing at Mania. I wanted Redacted Lesnar, as the big bad gatekeeper he is, to be the big bad gatekeeper for Solo, to be a monster post-Mania and possibly be the one to fight Roman. But The Rock has come in since then. The bloodline probably isn't fully breaking up that way yet. But it made sense when I wrote it, and I think they could have had a cool match, and I think Solo would have went over because Redacted was actually really good at putting people over towards, more recently. The U.S. title, I have Logan Paul versus L.A. Knight. Yeah, and I think a lot of people also had this. The problem that happened, though, is that Logan just needs a free win at a Mania to kind of, cement him as an actual wrestler. I think they just want to give him something because he's been very, very loyal to the company, been a very good asset, has put on really decent matches. I think it's fair to give Logan a match. And I think the problem with LA Knight is they put him in the world title picture a little too early, so it makes it so where they don't want their U.S. title to seem like the secondary thing, but unfortunately, with that push for LA Knight, you kind of forced him in that position, which is just, it is very unfortunate. I still think LA Knight will be winning the U.S. title. I think that'll just be moved to SummerSlam. We'll see what happens. I don't know. You never know. Logan Paul might not win at Mania. If you watch my WrestleMania predictions, you'll see why I say that. I go in a little bit more detail. This one was a shot in the dark, and it is happening, but not at WrestleMania. At Stand and Deliver, but on my WrestleMania card was Carmelo Hayes versus Trick Williams. I don't remember. Did they break up at this point? I think I was just seeing all the signs. I knew they were going to do this match. I think this, in hindsight, should stay on NXT, but I wanted two really talented, very, very, very talented men to be on WrestleMania because they really do deserve. They've been putting out phenomenal work. The turn was great. Everything that had been leading up to it, the build, the working the crowd, everything. I feel like a reward for being that should have been a position to do it on Mania, but one, I don't think it would have gotten the time it deserves, and two, it is a very NXT storyline, and to just shove that onto the WrestleMania card is mostly just me wanting those two to just succeed. I think Carmelo versus Trick is going to be a world title feud by WrestleMania 40. By WrestleMania 50, these two will be main event stars with multiple titles under their belt, multiple feuds. I can just see it happening. They are phenomenal workers, and unless something terrible happens, knocking on wood, they have very long and amazing careers together. So I'm not mad that I didn't get call that one, but it makes sense. This next one, I don't think they've ever really done this for Mania. They probably have, but I have a number one contenders match for Bobby Lashley versus AJ. First of all, I want that match in general. That sounds fire. I don't think they just do straight up number one contender matches, though. I think they would have to, call it, no, I think they would just have to do a match. I don't know why I'm number one contender, but I think Bobby and AJ both deserve world title runs again, but, it's being held hostage by Roman. But I think Cody versus Bobby could be a fun feud for him after post-Mania, but he's doing stuff with the Ministry of Bullshit or something. I don't remember. Women's World Heavyweight title. Becky versus Rhea, because I'm telling you, it makes sense because they're both mega stars. I actually recently talked about that on the predictions video. You should watch that. I actually have a very interesting story. It doesn't go the way you think it does. I'm telling you right now, even though Rhea is Rhea Bloody Ripley, you're going to be confused about my pick there. And the last match was the undisputed champion Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes Part 2, which we're getting regardless. I think I was cooking. I was just mixing up some ingredients, we couldn't have predicted the Brock thing happening. I'm sorry, the redacted thing happening. Nobody could have predicted that except, people behind the scenes. What else? The DIY thing. I mean, technically I'm getting the DIY thing. If they win, I'm getting the DIY thing. But, yeah, it's 50-50. The four-way was just some mid-carders. I just think, when you're a good worker, you deserve some type of reward. It sucks that they don't have, main, story stuff. So people would just, watch you be like, oh, yeah, cool match and everything. But I really just like when stars that are working their hardest get even just the littlest bit to show off what they can do on a bigger stage. The Ilya Gunther's happening. I don't care. Ray Santos' ass. Io Bailey's happening. Jay and Jimmy's happening. This card isn't that bad. It's just, like I said, I kind of overshot some stuff, and some IRL stuff I think came in to mess you up or mess me up on these predictions. But I think that's a lot of fun to do because honestly, using what I'm going back into the logic we had at the time, a lot of those matches made a lot of sense. Yeah, that was that. I just thought, I was thinking about it when I was doing my predictions. I was like, wait, I predicted this card a few months ago. I didn't realize it was all the way back in November, but I predicted the card. I was like, I wonder, what did I say? And I was very, very close, man. I could have predicted. I think I'll do that again. I think I'll, maybe not around the same time again, but I'll definitely do that again where I predict a Mania card. And we can do this again at WrestleMania 41. I don't want to think about WrestleMania 41 because time moves very fast. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you do, hit that subscribe button, some more like it. Down below, are there any matches you thought were going to happen on this card that just ended up not happening? Kind of like Seth versus CM Punk was guaranteed. So if you thought that match was happening, technically you were right. It's just that Punk got hurt. And that, again, something that nobody could really predict because, the main objective of wrestling matches are to not get hurt, but make it look like you hurt somebody. So, yeah, that sucks. But yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you when I freaking see you.